All right, let's talk about going out to restaurants. Now, some of you guys are on sort of elimination diets, you're planning diets, and they can be a source of a great deal of anxiety. A lot of people find that going out to eat can ruin an otherwise, good sense of habits, and can set people, on a long negative sort of tailspin where they lose all control. And so let's think about how not to get into that particular situation here. So you want to go out to eat, you want to enjoy yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, in all honesty, I don't go out to eat that much because I like eating at home. I like cooking my own food. I like the people at my house, have control over who's there. And I can play the music I want, so on and so forth. And so there's some advantage, but inevitably we're all going to go out to eat at some point. So one thing, just consider how things are cooked at the restaurant. I think, there's nothing wrong with asking to say, hey, how's your whatever, how is it prepared, what's it cooked in? There's nothing wrong with asking those questions. By now, waiters and waitresses have for years been asked about these things. They're used to it. It's nothing unusual. Just because it's unusual for you, it's not unusual for them. It's not going to make them uncomfortable. Just say, hey, how do you cook your steaks? Do you cook it in this oil, or can you possibly do it in butter or something like that? And most of the time they'll honor those requests. Sometimes there's not an option. You just kind of say, hey, is it worth it or not? You can certainly lean to things that are flash seared or grilled, whether it's meat or if you guys are into things like steamed vegetables, that could be an option for you. Again, fried foods, I would just stay away from. Anything that's kind of heavily breaded, those things are going to be likely a problem. So just stay away from that stuff. Again, when you're looking to set up your meal, again, focus on getting satiating food. Load up on the meats and the proteins. Order a burger without the bun. Get some bacon and eggs. Get some lobster with drawn butter or butter grilled chicken. You can have maybe a salad with asparagus or something like that. Try to stay away from some of the dressings. Tend to have some problematic oils in there. Maybe you can get some balsamic and some olive oil if it's authentic olive oil, perhaps. Plenty of options if you're just creative. And a lot of times, most restaurants, at least most reputable restaurants, will let you kind of pick and choose a little bit there. So plan ahead when you're going out when you can. If you know you're planning to go somewhere, the menus are almost always online. You can look there and see if you can actually eat that, and make a meal in your mind before you eat it, and make sure you're going to be satisfied with that. Now, one trick I like to do is I'll pre-eat. I'll just eat a steak before I go out to eat, because I know I'm a big eater. I have a big appetite, and if I want to fill myself up and feel full at a restaurant, I'm going to end up paying 3, 4, 5 times the price. So a lot of times I'll do that. You may not need to do that, but sometimes it makes sense to plan ahead when you can. Now, when you have a plan, just stick to it. Don't worry about what other people think, what other people are saying, or what you think they're thinking, because most of the time, no one really cares. Just stick to your plan, and you might inspire someone around you. That shows you how easy it is for you to do that. Now, going off plan for you may trigger some sort of binging behavior. It may trigger an autoimmune flare. It could cause gastrointestinal issues. So take care of yourself. This is what you eat has an impact on you, and that includes going out to eat. Don't just say, blow it off, I'm going to go out to eat, and throw all your hard-earned work out the window. And also, if the server's nice, give them a nice tip, and they'll want you to come back, and they'll set you up for the next time. Other things are going to be beyond your control. You control what you can, and sometimes spontaneous dinners come up. Sometimes, you're just late for somewhere and you got to stop at, McDonald's or something like that. And so you can still make the best of that. Obviously, if you're going to, say, a burger chain, they'll often just do burger patties and a lettuce wrap, or just plain. I've been to many burger places and said, just give me plain old hamburger bun, or sorry, a hamburger patty by itself. And often I'll say make it 8 of them or something like that. And I've never had problems, or rarely had problems getting that done. And usually, don't pay for the whole burger price, because you can usually get the buns by themselves, or the burgers by themselves. Maybe tell them to throw a piece of bacon and an egg with that. It's also great if you're into these things. You can top it with some pickles and onions, maybe some mustard if you like those things. But skip the buns, the fries, the breaded stuff, onion rings, ketchup, sauces. You don't need those things. If you go to an ethnic restaurants, maybe Asian, Japanese, Korean, Thai, Vietnamese, or even an Indian restaurant, skip the rice dishes. Go for just the meat dishes, maybe meat and vegetables if you're tolerating meat and vegetables. If they've got some sushi or sashimi, go ahead and work on that. If you're at a Tex-Mex or Mexican restaurant, chips and salsa, I know they're very tasty, but just kind of put those away. Don't go for those. They often have meat dishes, and just load up on extra meat. If you're tolerating vegetables, you can do that, and that's very easy to do. If you're at a pizza or Italian place, Italian places usually have a steak on the menu. You know, pizza, sometimes they can make a crustless pizza for you. You'd be surprised. Sometimes they'll do that for you. You know, in like sandwich shops and stuff like that, just get the meat and cheese, you know, maybe some vegetables if you like that. Boiled eggs, things like that, salmon, chicken, those things are often available. I would avoid all the mayonnaise and spreads and sauces they put on that. That's usually processed with a lot of garbage in there, so I just skip those things. Little diners are, you know, nice places to go. Steak and eggs and bacon, those things. You know, skip the Mile High pancakes or the sourdough sandwiches and things like that. And obviously, you go to a steakhouse, hey, you're set. You know, and most normal people are happy to go to a steakhouse. So go get the fattiest, biggest, juiciest steak you can do. So just some final thoughts here. I mean, honestly, probably no one in the world cares what you eat. I mean, you know, of all the people in the world, there's like 3 people that actually care what you eat. Yourself, maybe your spouse, maybe one of your kids or your dog. Dog cares what you eat because they're looking for the leftovers, but nobody really cares. Honestly, maybe someone might look weird for like 2 seconds. Don't worry about that stuff. You take care of yourself. You enjoy yourself. Hey, the meal that you eat going out is a very small part of why you're going out, right? You're going because you can get a good meal at home, or eating at home all the time. We're going out to enjoy the atmosphere, the ambiance, the socialization, you know, meeting with friends. So the meal is a tiny part of that, so don't sweat that stuff. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.